All right, guys, welcome back to Casey Crawls. We are going to be in the shop this weekend doing a little more work on Raggedy Red. Finally getting back on her. Going to try and make some progress on this steering axle, so stick around. Okay guys, so after about, I don't know how many hours with the grinder on my back, I finally got one side ground down, cleaned up, brackets off. There's the brackets. It was horrible. Let me show you if I could get down here. Okay. Check this out, got it ground down smooth. I'm gonna have to hit it with the welder and fill in some of these gouge marks, but it should be okay. That's not the frame. That's this plate that the other brackets came on. So fill those in, grind them smooth, clean it up, and then I will be ready for the new brackets, which will go somewhere right around in there. All right guys, so as you can see, I am filthy. I need to go in, take a shower. I am done with the buggy project today. We'll get back out here tomorrow and get a little bit more done. What did we get done today? Well, we got the old brackets cut off the frame, ground down, cleaned up, and ready to accept the new upper link mount. So not a whole lot, but man, that's a lot of work. Tomorrow, I am gonna try and get the axle kind of mocked up in place where it might go. And we'll see what we can get done tomorrow. Maybe get the truss on there. I've done quite a bit of work to that. So I don't know, but right now I'm gonna go have a cold beverage, go eat me some dinner, get cleaned up, and we'll hit it again tomorrow. So I appreciate you watching, and stick around. Tomorrow I'll be back out in the shop. We'll continue this in the morning. Okay, so man, it's a beautiful day. Back to the shop. Where did we leave off last night? And where do we have to start today? Oh, I gotta wash that thing. Good Lord. Well, first thing is I probably need to sweep up my mess. What a disaster. Man, when I took a shower last night, I had grinding dust in my ears, my nose, my hair. It was nasty. So I'm gonna start, I guess, by cleaning up a little bit. Get the shop straight, get some tunes on, and figure out what's next. Okay, cleanup done, and I think I figured out what's next on the agenda. So I'm gonna run a few little beads across there and just fill that stuff in with the welder, grind it down smooth. So I don't know, make me feel better. So we got it all welded up, ground down, and the next thing, I guess I'll try and get this this truss tacked on with the pinion support. I've had to do a lot of modification to this thing to get it to fit. This pinion support does not fit with this 14-bolt truss from Barnes 4-wheel drive, but at least not from the manufacturer. After you do a little modification to it, it fits fine. So I think now what I'm going to do is clean this thing up and get it tacked on and move it into place and just see what it looks like up under the buggy. Man, making some headway this weekend, so that's good. Okay guys, I don't know if you recall, but the idea was to cut the tubes, the axle tubes, so that the inner shaft, the long shaft, would be the same size on either side, so I could have one spare axle shaft. So that's what I did. Got my shafts from Brannock. I just slid them in without the carrier to see what it looks like. So here you go. I think that's okay. Looks good. I don't know. I think that's gonna work. So I will be able to have one spare shaft for the rear axle. And these, I did go 35 spline. It's chromoly stuff with the Brannock U-joints. They kind of look like the Yukon stuff, to tell you the truth. But I think this is gonna work out. So we got my axle shafts good to go. Now I think I'm gonna sling this thing up under the buggy and just kind of start to play with where it needs to be and where I need to put my shock mount. I think might be the next step. I don't know. I think. All right guys, we're back in the shop and I have made a little bit of progress on my steering axle for Raggedy Red. So let me show you what I've got going on. I think I have the ram mount figured out. I am using a single-ended ram because that's what I have. But what I ended up doing was I took this 2x2 square, it's 1/4 inch, and I tacked it to the truss. And I've got the tabs that came off my old kit, so I'm reusing that, and it's really pretty straight. Now, I don't have tabs long enough for this side. If you can see, they're about a 1/2 inch too short. And so I ordered some tabs. They should be here Tuesday. If I need them to be 1.5 inches, and that is gonna lift the ram up, and man, look at that clearance. I think that's perfect. Now this is turned to the left, fully turned, so it'll increase as you straighten it out, but I think that's gonna work out well. So I'll get the tabs in Tuesday and tack them on and just see, and I'll cycle it. I cycled it yesterday when I was messing with it, and I forgot it's got oil in it, and well, I got oil on the ceiling. Man, that oil shoots a long ways once you pressure it up like that. So at any rate, I think I got the ram mount figured out, so that's good news, that's progress. And now, until my tabs get in, I have to figure out what else I need to work on. There's no shortage of projects with this steering axle project. So I think what I'm gonna do is mess with the mount for the struts on the axle side. So I'll show you what I'm talking about in just a little bit. Okay, I got these mounts, and they're not for struts because the mounting thing's not quite wide enough, but I like how tall they are, and it's kind of cool that they're sort of a little jigsaw puzzle. I got them from oh, who did I get those from? I'll remember it in just a minute. Moto-Built. They have some really cool stuff. Trying them on, I got my struts under there. But just trying them out, I bolted those onto the strut, and I'll show you what we have. It's not, they're a little bit wider. The struts are wider than what these things will support. I think these things are for maybe coilovers. I don't know. But anyway, this piece, if you can see that, it's not. So I think what I need to do is cut here and then cut there and open this thing up so that'll slide in. I don't know if you could tell what I'm talking about there. Okay, so I got enough clearance to where I could get it together. So that's how it's supposed to go together. But if you look, and get something to use as a pointer. If you look right there, it's a little too tight. So I'm going to take a little bit of this off with the flap disc, and I think that's going to do it. These things will be good to go. I think the next thing is I got to get the skid plate pulled out. Right, I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to pull the skid plate. Yep, that's what I'm going to do. Here we go. Done. All right, guys, so we got the skid plate out. Not as graceful as I would have liked. However, it's out, so that's cool. Next thing, we got to figure out where that cross member is going to go for my lower links. So I think that's the next project, is figure out where that thing's going to go. It's going to be 1 3/4 inch DOM. I've got 120 wall, and I've also got 120 wall 1.5 inches. So I'm going to sleeve the 1 3/4 with the 1.5 inches. So I'll have quarter wall on that cross member. And then I've got another cool bracket from Moto-Built. I'm going to use that bracket for my lower links, and I'll show you when we get there. But for now, I got to figure out where this cross member is going to go. All right, guys, it is Sunday. I'm back in the shop. Had to take a little break. We went out to dinner with family, and back at it this morning, Sunday morning. I think I've got a plan. So next on the agenda is to figure out how to do this cross member. So we got the skid plate out, sitting right there. Y'all saw that yesterday. And now I have got to figure out how to get a skid plate or a cross member under there. All right, guys, I think I have a plan. So let me show you and try and explain. So my skid plate comes to right there. I don't know if you can see that line. And so the skid plate, the edge is 2x2 square tube. It's quarter wall. This is 2 inch, pretty much, frame rail. So what I need for my lower links, they're going to be below the frame rail, but I need something to attach it to. So I think what I'm going to do is get some 2x2 square tube and cut it. It'll be 22 inches long. And the trick is going to be where the frame rail bends right here. I've got to do like a pie cut and bend it. And so that's going to come all the way to the rear, and that's going to lower this frame 2 inches, which will be the same as the skid plate. So it'll be the same height off the ground as the skid plate all the way back. And then the cross member will be able to, I could weld that piece of cross member, which is going to be let's see, 1 3/4 DOM quarter wall all the way across the frame rail, and then the bracket will attach in the middle, and we'll have a double triangulated 4-link. Okay, so let me show you what I got so far. I just have to weld it in. So like I was saying earlier, the frame rail comes to here, and I needed to extend it just a little bit because I need my lower link just below the frame rail. So I cut this out of 2x2, and now I've got to weld it in. All right, guys, so that's gonna do it for today. Man, that one little piece, I got it cut out, I got it bent, and I got it tacked on. Actually, it's more than tacked on. I gotta clean up some of the welds, but I think it's gonna work out. So I think that's gonna do it for this weekend. We got a lot more work to do. Got to get the other side done, and I was hoping to get that cross member in place, but is a little bit more work than I anticipated. So hopefully, well, I'm going out of town this week. I don't know next weekend if I'm gonna get a chance to get in here. I should get my tabs for the ram mount, so I could get that knocked out. That'll be pretty big. Then I probably need to send that ram off and have it gone through at PSC. But there you have it. Good weekend in the shop. Doesn't look like a lot of progress, but once you come up with a plan, I think sometimes that's the hard part, coming up with the plan. Once the plan is in your head, then it's just a matter of getting after it and getting it done, and I think that's where I am now. So the other side, it should go a little quicker, and I think I know what I'm gonna do. So anyway, stick around, appreciate you watching, and well, I probably won't see you on the trail anytime soon, but hopefully I'll see you in the shop. Thanks.